Hello, my name is John Cornell. This is a copy of the presentation that I recently put on September 3rd, Atlantic City. I wanted to give those who could not make it to the conference a chance to hear the presentation and review it online. This image shows where a wiper seal would be located at in a tank. It would be mounted to the far edge or the perimeter of an internal floating roof system, and the wiper tips would glide against the inside portion of the tank shell. This is an image of a very early stage of the wiper seals. They have evolved from what we called a tadpole seal. Tadpole seal being a very soft foam inside with a membrane typically made out of a urethane cloth. I found this seal detail in a PDM catalog showing the seals that were available at the time. This came from a catalog that I had picked up when I was in Saudi Arabia during the first Gulf War. Another innovator in the seal systems throughout the years is Chicago Bridge and Iron. You can find many of their patents online. This shows a triple wiper seal of the tadpole nature, showing it in a riveted tank and how well the perimeter gap will remain sealed even if it is a riveted tank. This is a photograph of a small section of a modern day tadpole seal. You can see it has a foam core and a durable wrap. Very good seal for a riveted tank, still being made today. Recently I saw this offered by KC Fabrication and Sales. It was on a tank owned by Colonial Pipeline. I found this diagram online. It's on bakeraltech.com. It shows a skin and pontoon roof with a wiper seal around the perimeter. I only included this to show the proximity of the time that wiper seals were beginning to be used, and that was between 1975 and 1980. Once again, trying to show the evolution of the wiper seal. In 1975, I found an old sketch of a Canalco roof showing a wiper seal of the tadpole nature. They had changed. By 1985, they had a double wiper seal, which is shown on the lower right-hand side. And in 1980, I found a drawing from Pittsburgh, Des Moines that showed a single wiper seal. So the evolution goes from 1975 to 1980, going with a single wiper, and then to a double wiper by 1985. The real focus of my presentation today is shown here. This slide is slightly different than the one before it. This slide is concerning with the vapor space that is underneath the wiper seals and how easily it is for the vapor to get out past the wiper seals. Now, to restate that, it's easy when the seal is not installed correctly. My issue here today that I want to present is that the seal can be installed correctly, reducing the amount of vapors that can get past the wiper seal configuration. I want to show that a seal that is properly spliced together in the field can reduce the vapors by a large percentage of the overall vapor loss over a seal that is not properly spliced. Here we see a splice being performed using a heat gun or a hot air gun, and this can effectively melt the seal together at the ends, causing a seal to be present that has a very, very small vapor loss. One of the most important things we must remember in the field is to make sure the wiper seal tips are clean, and then before proceeding with the melt over, we need to melt only the tip. The tip should be overlapped approximately 3/16 of an inch, and that is where we should first apply heat. After the seal tip is melted together, we should pause and cool it with water so that that portion of the tip does not tear apart. Here you can see a picture of yours truly cooling the tip after I've melted it together. That successfully bonds the two wiper seals together, and then on the back side we also melt that together and then cool it as well. Now we can begin to complete the rest of the weld without the seal falling apart. Here we show the seal being flipped over so we can get to the back side of it. At this time the seal is very strong, the joint is very strong, but we must complete the operation. So we flip it over and we heat the seal up on the gap between the two abutting joints and completely melt the seal assembly together. There is no way that vapors can now get past the ends of the wiper seal. We show on the left a grid laid out on the wiper ends where the two wiper seals abut together, and then on the right photograph we see that we have placed a hot pin through these pieces of wiper seal. These holes are going to be used for the insertion of zip ties. This is not a highly recommended procedure, but it may need to be required in some tanks, especially a very dirty, greasy tank where the wiper seal cannot be cleaned adequately. After the holes have been inserted, the zip ties can be placed through the holes starting at the front, going in and coming back out, and then as shown on the right, the complete assembly. This sometimes must be used, like I said earlier, because of the greasy contents of the tank, but this is not a preferred method. Moving on to another detail of a good wiper seal installation is the fact that the seal needs to be stretched in order to make a tight wiper seal without showing wavy marks within the seal after the installation. Consider installing the holes in the seal 1/16 of an inch closer together than the bolts that are awaiting in the field. This will cause the butt end of the seal to be stretched, causing a nice flat wiper seal at the end of the installation. Thank you for reviewing this presentation. If you have any questions, please contact me at the email address on the screen. Thank you very much.